How much did England lose to India, and how much did they lose to the pitch and in the mind?
I think these conditions, England find it very, very difficult when it's spinning like this against a quality team. You know, they got conditions like this in Gaul, in Sri Lanka, but Sri Lanka aren't a quality team. They don't have the quality of spinners. They don't have enough skilled batters at the minute. They don't have the Jayawardeners and the Sangakaras of old to get the big scores. So England played very well in Gaul when it was spinning, but it was against a lesser Sri Lankan team. When they come up against a high-class Indian side who are highly skilled in these conditions, it's very, very difficult because India have better spinners and they have better batters to cope with the spinning deliveries. So it didn't surprise me what happened. It's now, what do they do from here? And what happens in the next 7 to 10 days to make sure that they get back to being confident amongst themselves, having a game plan of what they need to achieve with the pink ball, trying to assess it in practice, what it's actually doing. Don't just think because it's a pink ball and the lights are on, it's going to be like Headingley and Trent Bridge, it's going to be zipping all over the place. So you go for an English style attack, it's going to spin. It certainly will spin the pink ball. And if you're India, you know, you're going to prepare a wicket that's going to spin pretty much on day one to bring the likes of Ashwin and Axar Patel into the contest. So England have to do all their preparation for that. And if they get a pitch that's doing a little bit with the seam and the swing, well, that's a massive bonus for them because they know that they'll be able to maximise that. But I would personally be preparing the England side to expect more spin, and obviously work the batters with the likes of Bumrah and co, but really prepare their minds and their games for the spinning deliveries, because I'd be amazed if India go back to a flat wicket or a pitch that's going to be zipping around, because that just brings England back into the contest.
I think there were a few positives for England as well, Michael. And I mean, you look at what Moeen Ali did in this game. Moeen Ali had 8 for 226. I mean, he didn't bowl like Jim Laker. He didn't look like he's going to take 19 wickets, but eight wickets in a test match is pretty good. He showed at the end he can slog the ball as well. It's a very long batting lineup. I thought Leach did well. It's a measure of how much we started to rate Jack Leach, that I expected him to do more than what he actually did, picking up the 6 wickets in the test match. And England have the same Pant Saha problem that India had, and India have gone Pant over Saha. But how do you find you've got to find place for Ben Stokes?
Yeah. Well, he'll definitely play the remaining 2 games because of this selection policy that England have gone with. Butler's now at home. Mark Wood arrives. Johnny Bairstow arrives, so they'll be in contention. Moeen Ali had a good. Sam Curran, I think, staying back. He's going to arrive for the last game. Moeen Ali, the rumour is that he's going home. That's the whisper that he's going to go home and have a little bit of time with the family. I just find that absolutely staggering that, you know, someone's been out of the test team for 18 months, and if it's true and he's going home, he's got 8 wickets, he's just hit a few into the stands. Perfect timing, by the way, when the IPL auction's on Wednesday night, so Moeen might get a bigger check. But I do find that this kind of strategic resting and manoeuvring the England test team over the course of these 4 matches in India with so many changes, and it's all been kind of done before the actual series starts, and you're not looking at form and the situation of the test match series. I'm not too sure I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, the reason you played Moeen Ali here over Dom Bess was you thought maybe Bess is a little short of confidence, maybe he didn't bowl that well, let's get Moeen in. Moeen hasn't played for a long time, bowls a lot of overs, maybe gets his confidence back, gets 8 wickets, hits to the stands, and he thinks, right, I think I'm starting to like this. Now, if you need 2 spinners in Ahmedabad, you go back to Dom Bess. So all that you gained by playing Moeen here is lost, isn't it? If you have to go back to Bess.
Well, yeah, they'll definitely go back to Dominic Bess because that's all they have there. I mean, I just find it all very bizarre. And you know, you go back to 2019 when England won the World Cup. So 17, 18, 19 in English cricket was all about the white ball game, getting that 50-over team up to scratch to win the World Cup, and it worked brilliantly. The test team were put on the back burner, and England drew the Ashes in 2019, allowing Australia to keep the Ashes and take them down under. After the Ashes in 2019, England celebrating winning the World Cup. The message that was sent from the England team was everything now is about getting those Ashes back. Everything has to be all the eggs into the Test match team to get those Ashes back. And I know that there's been swapping and changing in the T20 World Cup, and obviously it was meant to play last year, it's now this year, and you have to have a focus on that, no problem. But I'm amazed that the T20 team in the 50 over, they're going to have all the players, everyone's available. Whereas the Test team, which we're trying to win the Ashes back in a few months' time, it's swap and change. Joe Root, the captain, must be thinking, well, what about me? What about me as a skipper? Why don't I get my best team for a big series like India? I just can't agree on this policy of swapping and changing in a Test series against the best in the world in their own backyard. I can't agree on it. Rest them for the one days in the T20s. They play enough IPL cricket. There's enough T20 cricket that they've played that they know as a white ball unit. You know, these games in India, of course, they're important, but they're not as important as 4 Test matches because the England white ball team is in such a great place that if Joss Buttler or Jofra Archer missed a few T20 games in India, he'll get them back in the IPL. He'll get the experience of playing in those conditions. I just can't agree with this swapping and changing that England are going for in the Test team.